Yeah, and the Chinese don't just put out headlines for no reason. You know, they're very careful about the things that they say. And it may not be an overnight thing, but they're definitely telegraphing something with that. Even if it's just something, you know, they're gently trying to telegraph something. But they carefully put their message out, I would say. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I would agree that it is extremely, everything they say is scripted. Everything they say is with purpose.
Right.
And they think that everything we say is hot air.
Right. A lot of it is.
Well, it's like, you know, we're not going to allow any of these things for TikTok. Oh, wait, take it back. Yes, we will. So
Yeah.
it's...
I don't even know why we're messing around with that. You know, it's just...
it's headlines. It's headlines.
Yeah, no, but I mean, the fact that they're going to continue to allow the data to be stored in China and ByteDance is still going to have access to everything, you know, defeats the purpose of putting all this scrutiny on it. I mean, I think...
You're not supposed to mention that. You're never supposed to mention inconvenient truths. It takes away from the narrative.
Well, the inconvenient truth is you're giving... You know, as I'm sure we all kind of are involuntarily with plenty of our electronics and other things, and it's bad enough we got Hikvision cameras at the fucking Pentagon, and we've got, Huawei routers all over the country, but you're giving the Chinese... I don't know what you need to sign up for TikTok because I don't have it, but all of that stuff, you're just sending it. I mean, it's data, right? Everything is data. And that's the big, like LinkedIn got bought out because of its data. You know, data is the commodity now. Hedge funds pay for data. They want user data. They want people's data. And here are an entire generation of Americans just forking it over to China, just giving it to them. It's just, you know, sitting on a server over there somewhere. And to make things better, they're fucking dancing while they're doing it, you know? They're fucking doing the Soldier Boy, crank that. Like, hey, crank that. Take my data. Hey, crank that. Take my fucking videos of me. Hey, crank that. Take my social security number. It's like, Jesus Christ, talk about the perfect crime.
Well, and that's the thing. People are focused on soybeans. I'm like, can we move the discussion to 5G and AI, please?
Yeah, what year is it? 1600?
I'm like, you've got to be kidding me, people. Why are we not focused on the fact that they are creating the next generation of technology and that they're going to use it as they see fit? These, you know, if you sat and looked at it through that prism, you would be like, well, you know, this is they're planning conflict. That's what they're doing. They're planning for conflict in the future, because that's what you do when you try and get espionage. And yet we don't understand. You know, I think that I can't even say the word silver lining and associate it with COVID, because I happen to personally know people who have gone to hell and back with this thing. But I think that if we have had a benefit outgrowth, it's that other countries have much greater scrutiny of China than they did before.
Yeah.
I mean, Australia, for God's sake.
Yeah.
It's in its first recession in 30 years, and it sells the bulk of its natural resources, and I mean the vast majority of its natural resources, to China. And you know, it relies all those cranes I was in Australia for a speech last year. All the cranes in Melbourne and Sydney, that's Chinese investors. And for them to come out, and that government to come out and say, we want to lead an independent inquiry into the source of COVID, and come out in the World Health Organization and be joined by 120 other countries, that was a big deal. It was, because before that, you didn't have the UK stressing out about Huawei, but now you do. So, you know, if there's going to be greater scrutiny going forward of what was China's quietly taking over the future of our information, it's not as quiet as it once was.
Yeah, and I think you make a good point earlier about it being the long game, right? It's a long con. It really is. It's, you know, espionage isn't something like, hey, we're going to send our 50 best spies tonight and have them get everything, try to break into the Pentagon. You know, it's a decades-long task if you want to do it effectively, and it's exceptionally methodical. And people don't really seem to understand that. This article came out yesterday. It feels like every couple weeks now we see an article. So-and-so spy was working for China. There was the Harvard professor that was funneling information to them. 2 days ago, an article came out. New York City police officer charged with acting as an agent for China discouraged a local Tibetan community center from engaging in pro-Tibet activities before they cut ties with him. He was a naturalized American citizen from Tibet, and he was arrested in connection with being an asset to the Chinese government since 2018. And he was in the New York Police Department, And then the question is, okay, like, how many of those people are out there?